Hi, this is Rahul Reddy. We are live from Reddy & Newman PC. This is my colleague.
Hi, I'm Emily Newman from Reddy & Newman PC. I'm an immigration attorney here in Houston, Texas. We're coming to you live today from Immigration Girl, as well as on RN Law Group's Facebook page. So, before we get too far into the video, we're going to be talking about the H4 EAD. But I want to make sure everyone is aware to subscribe to our videos so that you can know whenever they're coming up. So make sure while you're on the live feed that you go ahead and click subscribe either on our Reddy & Newman PC Facebook page or on Immigration Girl Facebook page. You can find it at RN Law Group US or Immigration Girl. You can find it at Immigration Girl on Facebook, and be sure to click subscribe so you can see all of our upcoming videos.
Emily, there have been a lot of rumors, especially in the Indian media. They are telling that the Trump administration has made a decision not to extend the H4 EAD and cancel the H4 EAD. It's already decided according to the media and all the outlets, at least most of the outlets. What do you think of that, Emily?
It's just lies, 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 lies. There has been no decision to cancel the H4 EAD. There's been no action taken on it. I get that question all the time. What's the status of the H4 EAD? Is it revoked? Is it canceled? Is it going away? Absolutely nothing has happened to the H4 EAD. It exists just like it did 6 months ago.
Emily, let me explain you where they are getting the source on this thing. They are telling that the Trump has issued an executive order, but the executive order indicates that he wants to revise the entire employment-based immigration along with the undocumented aliens. Now that's one of the sources that they are getting it. Is there anything in the executive order with regards to the H4 EAD?
So the actual executive orders that have passed so far, there is nothing related to H4 EAD, nothing related to STEM OPT, nothing related to high-skilled immigration at all. The only executive order that's passed so far on immigration is the one that was reissued just this week on the travel ban. Now, yes, there were leaked memos, leaked executive orders that were in process a few months ago that, again, did not say anything specifically about H4 EAD. The only thing the leaked memo said is there's going to be a top-to-bottom review of current immigration regulations to make sure that the regulations comply with the statute. That's it. That does not...
What do you mean by top to bottom? The media is telling top to bottom only means H4 EAD.
Top to bottom means A visas down to U visas.
So you mean to say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U. All those visas he's revising. Doesn't mean that exactly H4 EAD is, right?
Not even revising. He's not revising anything.
Okay.
All it says is over a possible 6-month period, they're just going to review what's happening in each immigration category. And then if they see issues, then they will put some proposals forward that may change them. That's it.
Okay.
Doesn't mean those proposals will even happen. This is just a review of every single immigration category, not specifically H-1B, not specifically H-4 EAD. Zero has been said by President Trump about H-4 EAD.
Well, there is a court which is adjudicating with regards to the H-4 EAD, Emily. We already know that Save Jobs America has filed a case to have the H-4 EAD dismissed or taken off. Now, the media is telling that since the Trump administration has requested for 60-day extension of responding to the court's order, in responding to the court, that is being taken as the reason why the people are telling that Trump administration has decided not to extend or not to cancel the H4 EAD.
Again, it's just blowing everything way out of proportion. You may not remember, but on the STEM OPT litigation that happened not so long ago, President Obama asked for an extension too. during the court arguments. He asked for an extra 90 days before the court took action on the STEM OPT. So there's nothing inherently wrong with a president or an administration asking for more time to submit a brief. It happens all the time. There's lots of litigation out there. This is nothing new, and it does not mean the H4 EAD is doomed. It just means that they need more time in order to come up with their arguments for the brief.
Emily, the district court has already thrown the case out, saying that there is no standing for the people to litigate on this matter, and it now is in the appeals court. Even if the appeals court, this appeals court is not actually ruling whether or not H4 EAD is validly passed or not. They're only ruling whether or not there is a standing for the litigants in this particular matter. So what do you think will be consequences in the appeals court about the H4 EAD litigation?
Right, so if the appeals court finds for Save Jobs USA, the only thing that does is send the case back to the lower court for the case to actually be heard on the merits. So in the initial litigation that was in the district court, they never even got to the heart of the case. It was thrown out on procedural grounds because the court felt that there was no harm caused to U.S. workers by the H4 EAD. That means there's no standing for them to bring suit, and therefore the case is dismissed. That issue alone is what is being appealed. So the appeals court is only going to decide whether there was standing or not, and if they find that there actually was standing, the case goes back to the district court, and then we get all the legal arguments submitted, and then the district court may make a decision. That could be a year, 2 years from now. If you look at the STEM OPT litigation, that was a good 2 years before a final decision finally came out in that case.
So even if
and we still have the OPT, the STEM OPT.
Oh yeah.
After all that.
After all that,
fine.
yes. There's a difference between a STEM OPT and the H4 EAD. STEM OPT was an order issued without going through the regulatory processing. When it comes to the H4 EAD, it has gone through the proper proceedings. Then only it's passed as a regulation. So there's still a difference between there. And H4 STEM OPT is still there. In fact, instead of 17 months, they did extend it to 24 months.
Right, and the H4 EAD is a much smaller segment of the population that qualifies for it. So think about all the students out there that got the STEM OPT extension, and they said those jobs did not, those OPTs did not harm U.S. workers, did not take away jobs. We're talking about a very tiny number of people that get the H4 EAD. So if we still have the STEM OPT, I think there's a pretty good chance we're still going to have the H4 EAD after all of this.
Why did the Trump administration, the White House spokesperson, has mentioned about the H4 EAD in his press briefings?
I think he was, again, just talking about top to bottom review of every visa category. I'm not sure there was any specific, unless you recall.
Yeah, it was addressed because the question was raised, but he was addressing a lot of non-immigrant visas, and one of that was H4. He never said anything about the H4 EAD abolition at all. He said he would consider looking into it, but he didn't say that he's going to abolish it. He also mentioned that the top priority for them at this point of time is undocumented aliens. Just to remind the audiences that before Obama administration has gone, they have issued 900,000 employment authorization through the executive order, not through the regulatory proceedings. They issued 900,000 employment authorization to the undocumented aliens. That means those people who are not legally present in this country, Obama administration had issued an employment authorization document. That is 900,000. In the H4 EAD, there are only 140,000. Can you explain what happened with the 900,000 EADs, Emily? Are they still extending it? Are they canceling those 900,000 EADs given to the undocumented aliens?
Right. Just like nothing's happened with the H4 EAD, absolutely nothing has happened to the DACA program that issued all of those EADs. They are still extending them, they're renewing them, they're accepting new DACA applicants that qualify. So I think that H4 EAD is pretty low on the totem pole as far as being targeted by this administration for reform.
Emily, what do you think so are the chances of the H4 EAD getting cancelled?
At this point, I think it's very unlikely to be canceled. If anything were to happen, it would take a long time. Again, remember, this is a much smaller group of people. Compare it to the STEM OPT. The STEM OPT was only canceled because it did not go through the full regulatory process, whereas the H4 EAD did go through the full regulatory process. And again, it's just such a narrow group of people that qualify for it. It's not like they're giving an EAD to every single H4 holder. It's only those with the spouse has the approved I-140 or has the 7th-year extension under AC-21. And really, it's only within that, those that can't file the 485 because the priority date's not current, which is a very limited number of countries that is impacting. So I just don't see it happening. Where they're going to just completely cancel the H4 EAD.
What are the probabilities for the President to issue an executive order to cancel the H4 EAD and L2 EAD assembly?
I don't even think he can. The only way to get rid of the H4 EAD is to do a new regulatory process that would repeal the old regulation. Now, how long does it take to go through the regulatory process? Years. In most cases. How long did it take the H4 EAD to make it through the regulatory process?
About November 2014, almost like 1.5 to 2 years.
Well, that was after the executive action. Before executive action,
right, I'm sorry.
It was waiting for years.
It's actually
and
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Sorry, I stand corrected on that.
So yeah, the regulatory process is very slow. You'll have time for notice and comment, just like the STEM OPT had time for notice and comment, and only then can they take a final action to possibly revoke or cancel the H4 EAD.
Based on my knowledge and what Emily has been advising also, if I were on H4 EAD, which at one point of time, at 24 years ago, 23 years ago, I was an H4 I was an EAD in the adjustment of status, and I did as on the EAD. I did work as an immigration lawyer too. Now, if I were an H4 EAD at this point of time, I would just continue living my life in the United States. I will continue working. I will continue paying the taxes in the United States. I will continue following all the rules and regulations of this country, and I would live happily. I'm not sure if I were on H4 EAD, I would be running to file a H1B at this point of time. Now, anything can happen, but based on the knowledge that I have, if I were the H4 EAD, I would not file for a H1B.
Yeah, I would not make that decision based on anything the Trump administration might or might not do. The H1B has its own pros and cons. It's a lot more restrictive on who you can work for. You have to go through a lot more documentation to get the H1B. There's a lot more regulations involved, and the H4 EAD is much less restricted there. It's easier to get, so take the easy way to work rather than going through all the restrictions of an H1B, I think.
Yeah. Emily, why is the media such news?
Technical difficulties. Hold on, please.
Hold on, please. Technical difficulties. We just want to pause for a minute for commercial break. Is it working?
All right, we're back. Sorry
we're
about
back.
that.
Sorry. Why is the media so much panic, making the people so much panicked right now? They're creating all these rumors.
I think more than anything, it's a hot topic. Everyone has questions about it, and so you get more hits on your site if you post a striking headline that says Trump cancels H4 EAD when really all he did was ask for an extension of 60 days to file a brief. I think that's the main point of this. Everybody has questions on it, so there's a lot of, I guess, room for the media to go out there and get more people to come to their site by posting these, posting misrepresentations of what's actually going on.
Yeah, also, Emily, I want to suggest that, back in 1979, there was a news of Skylove falling from the sky, and people are going to die, and everybody is going to die. So people stopped living lives back in those days. They stopped going to work. They stopped doing it. What happened? Nothing happened. So it fell just a piece somewhere in Australia, and farmer got very rich with the Skylove piece. So, the rumors in India seems to be going in the same way right now.
Yeah, that may be before my time, but I know the story of Chicken Little, where he's running around saying the sky is falling, and everyone freaks out and thinks the sky is falling, and nothing ever happens. I think we're in that situation right now.
Thank you guys for coming to our live show. We will keep continuing these live shows on selected topics as we go. Please come to ours, because we are the direct source of the information on the immigration, and we will keep presenting ourselves regularly on that.
Right. I want to really emphasize that it's so easy for rumors to spread, fake information to be shared. Everything goes viral these days, especially in the social media time. So if you hear a rumor, if you want to know it's true or not, come to an expert, someone who actually practices in the legal aspects of immigration, rather than listening to your friends, brothers, cousins, nephews, coworker. So whether it's our firm or another immigration firm, just make sure you go directly to the source to get your questions answered on immigration topics. And don't forget to subscribe to our live feed while you're here watching. And also, you can find us at Immigration Girl on Facebook or at RN Law Group US. That's Reddy and Newman PC. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, guys.